Welcome to the deep dive. We're here to take that stack of source material you've shared, dig through it, and pull out the insights you need. No overload, just clarity.
And today, we're heading back, way back to the mid-90s.
Yeah, a really crucial time. We're looking at a hip-hop conflict that was, well, kind of quiet, often overlooked, maybe, but it might just be one of the most important ideological clashes the genre ever saw.
Definitely. We're talking about the notorious Big versus Jeru the Damaja.
And this wasn't your typical loud media frenzy beef.
No, not at all. This was more philosophical, happening in the lyrics and the studios, really about the soul of hip-hop at a crossroads. We've dug into insider stories, key XXL magazine pieces, and importantly, interviews with DJ Premier, who was right there in the middle.
Right. So our mission today is to unpack why this specific tension matters so much. It wasn't just artist versus artist. It was like a battle over what 90s hip-hop was supposed to be.
Exactly. Authenticity, keeping it real, social commentary versus massive commercial success, mainstream appeal, and, the beginnings of that whole bling focus.
So let's lay the groundwork. Two very different ideas of success, right?
Totally. Jeru the Damaja, often with Premier on production, he positioned himself as, the guardian, the cultural preservationist.
His whole thing was resisting what he saw as hip-hop getting corrupted by money and flashiness.
And we have solid proof of this mindset. It's not just interpretation.
The liner notes, you found that quote from his '96 album, Wrath of the Math.
Yeah, it's incredible. It literally says, this album was created to save hip-hop and the minds of the people who listen to it.
Wow. Okay, so that's explicit. A direct shot at prioritizing money over the message.
It's basically a manifesto, isn't it? A declaration against where he saw things heading. Remember, this is when that flashy, materialistic side of rap was really starting to blow up.
Right, the cars, the jewelry, the champagne, that was becoming the dominant image for a lot of people.
And Jeru saw that as a betrayal of hip-hop's roots. Social commentary, street knowledge. That's what he valued.
Okay, so then you have Biggie, and he's right at the heart of this shift, yeah.
Absolutely. Biggie Smalls represented rap getting comfortable, very comfortable with being commercially huge, under Puff Daddy and Bad Boy records.
A bad boy machine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Biggie was telling these amazing detailed stories about crime, ambition, getting paid, making it big.
But still lyrical, still respected for the skill.
Oh, undeniable skill. But the whole package was polished for mass appeal. It was aspirational, and aimed right at the mainstream charts. That difference, that ideological split, that was the powder keg.
Okay, so how did it ignite? Not with some obvious diss track, you said.
No, it started more subtly, allegorically. Which brings us to Jeru's track One Day, also from '96, off Wrath of the Math.
Right, One Day. Tell us about the story in that song.
It's clever. Jeru spins this tale where hip-hop itself, personified, gets kidnapped.
Kidnapped? By who?
Well, he names names, but they're Bad Boy affiliates. Puff Daddy, Foxy Brown, Sean Black, specific people tied to that commercial sound.
Okay, so he doesn't name Biggie directly.
No, meticulously avoids it. But Biggie was Bad Boy. He was the star, the creative engine, the biggest success story.
So attacking Puffy in the Bad Boy style
Was basically seen as attacking Biggie's whole setup, his definition of success. And Biggie definitely took it personally.
You can see how that subtext would just simmer. And their styles reflected this whole split too, didn't they?
Completely. Jeru was tight, direct, packed with metaphors, very intellectual, real message rap, focused on warning against, playing yourself by chasing money.
While Biggie, his flow was just magnetic. Incredible storyteller.
Yeah, varied cadence, charisma for days. He could do the street tales, the aspirational stuff, all polished up for radio and MTV.
So Jeru's the watchdog, the purist.
And Biggie's the crossover king, the architect of rap as blockbuster entertainment.
Which leads us to Biggie's response. It wasn't a whole track aimed at Jeru, was it? More like a targeted line.
Exactly. That's on Kickin' the Door from the Life After Death album, which came out after he passed. Now, that song hit out at a bunch of rivals, Nas, Ray, Ghostface.
A lot of people felt that heat.
Yeah, but there was one line, kind of surgical, aimed right at Premier, and by extension, Jeru.
What was the line?
Just, son, I'm surprised you run with them. Simple, dismissive, but loaded.
And how do we know for sure it was about Jeru?
The source material confirms it. Specifically, an XXL magazine making of a classic feature. They explicitly stated Biggie meant Jeru there because of tracks like One Day attacking Bad Boy.
Okay, now here's where it gets really interesting. With DJ Premier involved, he produced Kickin' the Door, right?
He did, and he produced for Jeru. He was friends and collaborators with both.
So he's in the studio.
He's in the studio when Biggie records that line. And Premier's own account of this is crucial. He said he immediately stopped the tape.
Wow. Pulled the plug right there?
Yep, imagine that. Confronted Biggie, one of the biggest stars on the planet, right then and there.
What did he say?
According to Premier, he laid it out plain. Anyone has a problem with Jeru the Damaja, then you have a problem with me, so move on me.
That's heavy. Drawing a line based on loyalty?
Absolutely. It shows this wasn't just abstract debate. It was about personal ties, professional integrity, right there in the heat of creation.
So it's not just lyrics anymore, it's relationships on the line.
Big time. And Premier even said, Biggie kind of acknowledged it, saying something like, I told you I had to get back at your man. Biggie knew he was putting Premier in a tough spot.
And Premier stood his ground for Jeru.
He had to. As Jeru's producer and partner, his loyalty was clear.
Okay, let's stick with this theme of loyalty, production, shared resources, because that ties into another really fascinating layer here, doesn't it?
It does. The whole subplot around the beat for 10 Crack Commandments.
One of Biggie's most iconic tracks. What's the story there?
Well, connecting the dots from Premier stopping the tape. This becomes about who controls the creative assets. DJ Premier confirmed the beat itself.
Yeah.
It was originally made as like a quick promo instrumental for Jeru the Damaja.
Get out of here. For Jeru.
Yeah. Just something for him to use on Angie Martinez's radio show on Hot 97. A throwaway, basically.
So the beat that became this legendary Hustlers anthem started as a promo for the guy trying to save hip-hop from that stuff. The irony.
It's pretty rich.
Yeah.
So what happened next is where it gets murky, depending on the source.
Okay.
Jeru, publicly, has always maintained he gave Biggie the beat willingly. Said Biggie asked, he handed it over without hesitation. No hard feelings.
Okay, so Jeru says it's all good, but...
But other accounts, retrospective articles, stuff quoted in our sources, they suggest there might have been some unspoken tension.
Like maybe Jeru wasn't thrilled, even if he said he was.
That's the speculation. The idea is, even if he publicly agreed, seeing this quick radio beat kind of Jeru's turf metaphorically turn into a massive career-defining hit for his ideological rival.
Yeah.
Maybe that stung privately.
Okay. So it's that gap between the public statement and the potential private feeling, the ego.
Exactly. It becomes this little case study in like perceived ownership and creative trust in that close-knit scene.
Yeah.
Technically, it was Premier's beat to give, but Jeru used it first. It was associated with him briefly. So Biggie using it and making it huge, you can see how a slight real or perceived could fester there.
Yeah, it underscores how these things weren't just about the big ideas, but also about beats, studio time, who gets what, the nuts and bolts.
Precisely. So if we pull back, what this whole rivalry really highlights is that fundamental tension inside hip-hop itself. It wasn't just industry versus artist.
It was internal. What does it mean to be successful in hip-hop?
Yeah. Jeru's side is, when money becomes the main goal, the art gets corrupted, the message dies. The culture loses its soul.
And Biggie's counter-argument, basically proven by his career, was, look, you can have mass appeal, make hits, be commercially huge, and still be lyrically incredible.
You can be authentic and sell records. His work showed it was possible. He could be street, but also a global phenomenon.
And their legacies really reflect that split, don't they?
Perfectly. Jeru is still deeply respected in those underground, conscious hip-hop circles. He's like the benchmark for uncompromising integrity, the watchdog.
Still holding that standard.
While Biggie? Well, he laid the blueprint for modern superstardom in rap. He showed how to blend lyrical mastery with storytelling and massive commercial ambition.
His albums are still milestones for skill, for impact, for that blend of art and commerce.
And the sources we looked at, like that XXL deep dive in Premier's own words, they're so vital because they show this wasn't just academic.
Right, it wasn't theory.
No, it played out in real time in studios with real relationships tested. These were deeply personal moments that just happened to capture hip-hop figuring itself out in the mid-90s. The stakes felt incredibly high to them.
So wrapping this up, what's the key takeaway for you listening to this? It really shows hip-hop's incredible capacity, maybe its greatest strength, to hold contradictions.
Yeah, it can be street journalism and pop music. It can be raw art and a massive commodity, often in the same song even.
And maybe that tension, that pull between poles underground and mainstream, message and money, is what keeps it so vital, so dynamic.
Definitely. So we'll leave you with a question to think about, stemming right from this Biggie-Jeru dynamic. When commercial success arguably won't a lot of these internal debates in hip-hop over the years, did the culture lose something truly essential?
Or did it just find the necessary balance it needed to survive and thrive globally? Something to chew on.